So I'm here to teach you a little bit English. Very interesting topic for us today that we're going to have. It's all about expressions. You know what expressions are? Okay, so here we have an expression that is really interesting for us to tackle. What do you mean tackle? Tackle means to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about it. So the topic for us today is online slang, how to lol or laugh. Lol means it's abbreviation, shortened term for laughing out loud. Okay, so I will type it for every one of you. Laughing out loud. So when you say I saw the movie. It was really funny. So haha, lol. That's a slang term. Okay, so slang means informal or not the formal term for a word or expression. Okay, so LOL. So you'll be like texting with your girlfriend, right? And you're like, I thought the food there was really delicious, but it wasn't really that delicious. So haha, LOL. Haha, LOL. So if you would notice, LOL and haha already is redundant. Redundant means doing one thing over repeating one thing already that has been done. One thing already that has been done. Okay, so I will give you a little example of redundance. So that's lol haha. Okay, so if you're just going to write it and it's going to make it appear or look like it's correct. Okay, so instead of saying haha lol, you just say lol, lol. Okay, so what are slang terms? Slang terms are informal terms. Okay, so like instead of saying that's funny. Okay, so instead of saying that's funny, you could say lol. Okay, because some people are really busy or sometimes they're lazy to type so much words. Okay, so instead of typing so much words, they just type LOL and that's it. No. Okay, if you want to be formal and if you want to get respect from other people, my suggestion, students, is that you have to always use the formal and proper term of words instead of shortening it. Instead of shortening it, you have to making a thing or something shorter. Okay, so instead of making it short, just to make you sound cool or whatever, I suggest that you always say the right terms and the right words because it's all about formality sometimes. Okay, so our lesson for today is all about that. Okay, so let me introduce this topic to you. So here's our promotionals. So let me tell you about, we do a lot of English lessons one-on-one. So you could choose the teachers that you like, students. And we specialize in business English teaching too. So if you want to learn business or legal terms in English, or that would help you improve your overall communication. So we specialize in, yes, as specified earlier, business English, conversational English, day-to-day conversations, free talking, grammar, vocabulary. We do that too. Okay, so that would help you improve and improve speaking and listening. Okay, so for that, listen to check this one, guys. Okay, that's the ID of the contact person that you have to contact with us. Contact so that you could study with us. I'm sorry. Okay, so online slang, how to LOL or how to lol in other languages. Warming up question. What are your thoughts on the way people lol around the world? Well, some people could say that they have their own expressions. Like in some countries, for example, in the Western Hemisphere, Western part of the world, as per se, like America, Canada, they use lol commonly, like they do that all the time. Like out of 10 guys, you could see like 7 of them are using LOL all the time. I don't know. It's kind of a thing now. Back in the day, we didn't use. It's not that I'm that old. I'm just like in my 30s. No, informality. People are more formal back then, like in the 80s, because they don't have that kind of expression like LOL, ha ha ha. They could just say ha ha ha, and that's it. They type it and they send it. Okay, so yeah, my thoughts on that. We have different kinds of expressing ourselves. Like, I don't know what people do in China or in, let's say, Vietnam or, probably in Zimbabwe. I don't know how they LOL all around the world, but they have, in certain cultures, we must be respectful of other people's cultures, though, students. So we have to respect them. Okay, so they have their own ways, so it doesn't matter. It's okay. Okay, so topic. Let's learn some new words first. Okay, so we have here the word post. Okay, so everybody that is watching. So post means a photo, video, or piece of writing, etc., put on a social media website or application by a user. Okay, so it's a post. Okay, I will give you an example. So, for example, in a scenario, we're in a mall, right? You guys, me and, friends, and we see this, let's say, beautiful restaurant. Okay, so me and my friends, my girlfriends, and my boyfriends, my mates, my buddies. So, hey, dude, before we eat, why don't we just take a picture first so that we could post this on the internet? Okay. So, yeah, some people do that. You do that, Let's take a picture first, then, girls, let's take a picture first, then we could post it in the internet. And they would do that, and they would post it probably on social media sites. Like, yeah, all the time. So, for example, his post has been retweeted over 50,000 times. So famous people get retweeted. Tweeted or Twitter. It's a social media site in the Western Hemisphere that's really popular. I think Twitter is now owned by Elon Musk. So the billionaire owns it. So he's using that platform for other people to have the means of, to communicate. So they do that. They try and communicate using that platform to help other people. So that's good. Communication is key. So if you think guys, that learning language is difficult, I say that it's easy. It's easy. Okay, learning languages are like English, for example, per se. It's just learning how to communicate. So the point of learning is communication, talking. Okay? So as I've mentioned earlier, there are certain ways that people talk. Like they have certain um, expressions in other countries. So that's one, LOL. Okay? So the next one is let's learn some new words too. Again, first. So for example, the word is intense. Okay, so when you say intense, it's like it's it's like of very great strength or force, or it's so much tension. You'd say, oh, that's intense. For example, you saw um, let's say a UFC fighter, you know, on the television, and you saw the fight. Like let's say a fighter from a certain country and a fighter from America, probably they had it going, and the guy is like, I will beat you so much, when we're going to start and have this match on Tuesday. Yeah, yeah, really. And then some for from I don't know if they do it on purpose. Like they have a scuffle. Scuffle means a fight, a little fight on the television. I don't know if they're hyping it up, but they do that. That they would like face to face, and one guy would slap the other guy, and the other guy is going to punch him, and it's going to be like an intense fight, like so much intense, like oh, I could feel it, like that's intense. Okay, so as here it says of very great strength, force, etc. Okay, so we have an example here. The CEO is under intense pressure to step down. So what does that mean? In that sentence, it means that the CEO is under so much pressure, intense. Probably the CEO is being investigated for embezzlement. We'll never know because that happens. Okay, so you're learning new words with me right now. So one, embezzlement. Okay, stealing company funds. Okay, so that's embezzlement. So you're trying to steal something. Okay, so probably the CEO is under intense pressure to step down, because if he's not going to resign or step down, then it will happen and he will get investigated for probably embezzlement. So that's the complete. In those few words, we were able to paint a scenario of an example. So students, every time that you're trying to explain something, always remember to answer the 3 W's: who, what, and where. Okay, so their sentences would be complete. Because some people, when you ask them, you'd be like, dude, what happened? Okay, I went to the mall. That's it. When you're trying to explain something and you're trying to create conversation with other people, you could be elaborate. Okay, you might choose not to some people that you don't want to speak about it with. But the most important thing is, if the person is really interested in, and you would let them, and you would allow them to know about it. So you should answer the 3 W's: who, what, and where. Okay, we went to the mall, dude, and it was like a Saturday, and we had some drinks. We checked out his restaurant, and it's newly opened, and I think the food is really good. Okay, so in that answer, you were able to state the following: where, the mall, what did you do there? and when, Saturday. Okay, so just a little tip for you guys. Okay, so going back, it's intense. It's so much. Okay, so like for example, there's something happening that it's really very very what do you call that? A thing that is so much. Okay, so always remember the word intense. Like it's so much for me to bear. I feel the intensity of it. Like I can't do anything about it, so it's intense. Okay, so you could say that. I think that's intense. Okay, always remember that, students. Okay, so next we have a few words here. Depend on. So that's a slang too. Depend on. Or you could say rely. The formal term for depend on is rely. Reliance. Okay, so here, depend on is a phrase. It's a phrasal verb. Okay, so to be affected or influenced by something. Okay, so it's either you are depending on something. Okay, to be affected or influenced by something. I'd love to come to your wedding, but it will depend on whether or not I can get time of work. Okay, so it means in that kind of sentence or in that kind of usage, it says that depends on. Okay, you'd be like the other example. Dude, I think it's best that we go to, let's say, the beach in a certain province, let's say in Malibu. Malibu beaches, I hear that this summer is really cool because there are a lot of women there. And it's a good site for swimming, and we could have a great time. Okay, so again, you could answer if you're going to apply this. Okay, you'll be like, yeah, dude, I think that's a good time for us, man. We could chill, we could go to the beach, and we could spend time with a lot of women. That's really cool. But that really depends on, or that really depends on my availability for the next 3 months. Maybe I may have, I may not be allowed to take leave for like a week for our, excursion. So that really depends on that. Okay. Another example. Dude, will you go to work tonight? I don't know, man, because I'm not really feeling well. That really depends on my condition right now. Maybe my fever would go down later, so probably it depends on that. And like 3 hours later, your fever went down, and you could go to work. Okay, so depends on is to be affected again or influenced by something. That depends on. That depends on that. Okay. Okay, so next one is reason. It's really easy. Words here are really easy. But in our classes, when you have classes with me and other teachers, you would really learn new words that is going to be that are helpful for everyday usage, or let's say business English or anything common conversations with people. Okay, so with that, so learning new words is really important. That one too, reason. Okay, so reason means a cause or explanation for an action or event. Okay, so it's a noun. Okay, for grammar purposes, it's a noun. Okay, so is there any particular reason that you are late today? Particular. Okay, so two words here. One is Reason, okay, it's there. And particular means exact. Okay, so is there any particular reason that you are late today? So, in other words, is there any exact reason why you were late today? Like, for example, I'm the boss, and I was like speaking to the dude that was late because I needed him to be there as early as 7 a.m. and he came to work probably at 10 a.m. So that's like 3 hours late. And what kind of and who would you know who would uh, let that go easily? Of course, as a boss or somebody, you'll be pissed off. You'll be like, "Oh my god, what did you? Why was so late, man? What is your particular reason you're late today, man? Tell me." They're like, "Sir, there was like a traffic jam in my city. I wasn't able to, to ride the bus at the schedule that I needed to because like this and like that. There's so much reasons." Okay, reason again, a cause or explanation for an action or event. Okay, so another one, for example, um, you're playing mobile games, right? Then suddenly, while you were playing the game just stopped for a reason. Okay, it just stopped for a reason. What it means is you'd be like playing your mobile game, then it crashed. It crashed. It means it's not working anymore. It would be like, oh my god, why is my game not working anymore? For some reason, it just stopped. Okay, for some reason, it just stopped. You'd be like, oh man, that's really. I'm bugged out right now, man. I'm pissed off, man. I was like going to like the 34th level already. I'm at level 34, then it stopped, and I'm like, oh man. So for some reason, it just stopped. Okay, so that's how you use it. Okay, so again, let's do a little recap. Okay, so post, that's one. Post is a photo, video of posting something on your social media. Intense is something so much. Very great strength force. Next one is depend on, like your influence on something, by something or whatever. And your reason right now, a cause or explanation for an action or event. Okay, that's one. And next word we got press. Okay, press is because some certain words in the English language have different meanings. So you could say press. Okay, so let's read the meaning here first. Press is to push or be pushed closely against an object. Okay, so for example, you're standing, right? You like then your best friend, he like pushed you. Hey man, you'd be like, oh man, what did you do that for? But, hey, I thought I thought you'd be, coming with me at the mall earlier, but you did not. And you'd be like, screw you, man. He pushed you. You'd be like, that's pushing. Or something is against the wall. Okay, probably you're pushing the cabinet against the wall. For example, this is the wall, right? And you have to push the cabinet for so that the cabinet would be against the wall, and then it's going to be closer to the surface of the wall would touch the back surface of the closet, or let's say probably the cabinet. So you have to push it. Okay, press 1 if you would like to leave a message. That's an example. Okay, so for example, you're in a let's say a telepromotional video. I don't know, like you called some contact center and some guy answered your phone, and you'd be like, why is this guy not picking up? It's been a long time already. and you would hear a voice prompt. Like, for example, there's no agent to answer your call yet. And it'd be like, good morning. This is Axel of CC Agency, ready to take your call. But at the moment, I can't answer your call. So if you have questions, press the number 1 button so that you could leave your messages. That's just an example. Okay, so if you press 1 or push number 1, the button, the button, if you're going to press that, you would be able to leave the message. So it's a push, very easy word. Okay, so again, press, you have to push or something or press. That's it, simple. Okay, so as what I've said earlier, in certain words in English, there are different meanings. So for example, you would see on the news, let's say CNN. But guys, I suggest don't watch CNN, watch Fox News. Fox News is, they don't have so much fake news. They have accurate, good news. So if you're able to watch news in America, for example, if you have access to that, probably the best way to go is to watch Fox News, not CNN. Okay, so for example, you're on the television and you saw this headline, the press release of the president. Okay, I will just type it for you guys. Okay, so the press, this is the headline. Okay, the press release of the president earlier was, let's say, longer than expected because he had to answer the press for questions, regarding the economy. Okay, so that's the headline. For example, that's the headline. Okay, so I will explain to you how to use it. Okay, so press release. Press release is like I said earlier, press here. The in our lesson topic is press. You have to press something. Here, press means the media. Okay, the press release. When you see press release, it's mean me. For example, I'm the president. For example, I'm the great president Xi Jinping, and I have to release or say a message to the, let's say, local media outlet in, say, the country. No. Let's say that province. So the press release of the president earlier was longer than expected because he had to answer the press for questions regarding the economy. So, for example, I'm the president, and some reporter asked me, "Mr. President, what are we going to do about the issue regarding the let's say the losses, the trade losses that we are experiencing this quarter?" And the president would go like, for me, we're going to open negotiation with the private industry so that we could have a lot of investors to come to China, so that our what do you call that, trade deficit would be addressed and the economy would be better for the next year, like that. Okay, so we could do that. So again, there are certain words in English that has different meanings. Here we have the press button here, and the other one is like press release. You talk to the press. Press, okay? Press is other word. It's another fancy word for the media. The media. It's an entity. Entity means a special group of people. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so moving on, guys. We have key. Okay, key. Key. Each of several buttons or buttons. Again, the difference between English of Americans and English British, button. They say T, button. In Americans, they say the T with the D, buttons, button. That's the difference, okay? So I get confused sometimes with that. Okay, so each of several buttons used to operate a computer, phone, etc. Okay, so key. So for example, you see at the, let's say, the credit card, or let's say ATM. No, that's really complicated. Let's say your phone, right? And you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 asterisk pound key. So those are keys, the buttons. Okay, so for example, your keyboard, you're typing. I'm gonna press the letter T key so I could type letter T. Again, so that's key. Okay, so there's an example here. Press any key to unpause the game, or to unpause the game. Okay, so you're going to just press it and the game would resume. Okay, it would go again, it would continue. Okay, so press any key to unpause the game. So you would press, let's say, F1 in your keyboard. Then the game would continue. Okay, so key. Or for example, we have another term for key, or another meaning, key. Key, the object that is used to unlock a lock, a key. So for example, there's a padlock. It's padlocked. You'd be like, dude, the door is like padlocked. How will I be able to open it? I don't have the key, man. Be like, hey, just use the bolt cutters. Okay, some people, instead of using keys because they don't have it, probably they're going to commit a crime. They're going to steal something from that house, and the door is padlocked. So what they would do is, instead of using the key, they would use bolt cutters. Bolt cutters are like big scissors, and you cut the bolt of the padlock so you could unlock it, you could open it, and you could do whatever you want. Okay, so that's another usage of the word key. Okay? Okay, so a lot of easy words for you to learn, guys. So now we're going to dig deeper on the subject. Okay, so topic, online slang, how to learn other languages. Let's start to discuss our topic today. If you want to show that you found a text message or some social media post funny in English, you could use an emoji. Okay, right? That's what I've said earlier. Slang, LOL, informal, or laugh out loud, or just say ha ha. Okay, if you say ha ha and lol, that's going to be repetitive or redundant. Like there's a ha ha already and there's a lol. Okay, you see the difference. Okay, so but how do other languages do it? Here's how people LOL in different languages around the world. The French might write MDR if something is very funny. This means moderer. Moderer, or I don't know how they pronounce it. Moderer. I'm about to butcher the French word. I'm sorry. Okay, moderer. Okay, which translates to died of laughter. That. People nowadays have strange terms. If you were to take those words, okay, for example, there's a time machine, right? There's a time machine. Like probably in 2057, Elon Musk was able to construct a device that would take people, in certain time, in certain time periods. Like you could travel back to, I don't know, a million years ago and meet our ancestors. And as they were hunting woolly mammoths and dinosaurs, you could see them. No, not dinosaurs, just woolly mammoths. Because by that time, the dinosaurs were extinct, as they say, as science says. Okay, so for example, there's this time machine, then you were able to get access to it because Elon Musk made it public, and the people could have access to that time machine. So people could say that, and they could say that, hey, I want to try it, and then you tried it, and you entered the time machine. So if you were to use those common expressions like slang and LOL, and probably you would be you would go back in time to, let's say, I don't know, 1300, like medieval kings, and the shogunate of Japan and China at that time. You have your dynasties and your emperors. You'd be like, LOL, I think that's funny, emperor. And the emperor would be like that. That's weird. Because I'd have strange words. It would be like strange words, man. Weird. Okay. So that's how they say it. Mordirir. Moririe. I'm sorry. Died of laughter. Portuguese speakers are a little more relaxed about it and just write RS, or short for risos, meaning laughs of laughter. Laughs or laughter. Risos. Oh, we're learning Portuguese here too, and French. That's good. Okay, so they have certain ways. Americans, Westerners, they use LOL. That's funny. Okay. So an Iranian who sees something funny online would write MKM. That is short for the Farsi phrase. Farsi is the national language of Iran. Okay, Farsi or Persian, but it's not called Persian. It's Farsi. F-A-R-S. Okay, F-A-R-S-I. Farsi, or man kaden mikonam, which means I am laughing. Ha ha ha, like that. And if a Swedish speaker gets sent a really good joke, they might write ASG, or short for Asgarv, which doesn't just mean laughter. It means intense laughter. Ha, like that. Okay. Writing about the sound of laughing is a common way to say that something is really funny online. In English, you can write haha and change how long it is depending on how much you really laugh. So you could say, some people would type it, the intensity of the laughter would be measured by how long the haha is written or typed, or how they would type it. So some people would type it like, I'm sorry, like that. So it means really funny. But you could say, it's just like that. So, hey, dude, something fell. Like that. And if it's really funny, dude, I think that man fell. Okay, did you see he just slipped? Like that. Ha ha ha. Like H with uppercase letters. Okay, so this is how they type it. Okay, so yeah, in different ways. They have different ways in different languages. Okay, so for example, in Spanish, the letter J is pronounced like the English H. So instead of ha ha, speakers would write as ha ha. Okay, but in English it would be read as ja 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 ja. but instead of, because the letter J in Spanish, okay. For example, I will give you an example. Okay, so the word Castillejos, that's how they write it. Okay, that's a name, Castillejos. Okay, so for example, the name is Simon Castillejos. Okay, so as you've noticed, they use the word Simon. They read, or they pronounce the word as the J here, instead of instead of J, they read it as H, Castillejos. So that's a Spanish name. Okay, so what they do is they just do that. So, and hence, but they type it as J-A-J-A-J, ha ha ha, or in Greek, and in Greek it's sha 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 for the same reason. Okay, for the same reason. So instead of H, they use X. Ja 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 ja, sha sha sha. I don't know, whatever. Okay. And if you see 555 on a social media post, it's not because someone pressed the wrong key in thigh. The number 5 is pronounced as ha ha ha. Okay, that's weird. Ha ha ha, the sound of laughing. So, for example, you went to Thailand and you saw on a television screen of, let's say, a local TV program, the subtitles of the words that are spoken on television, or let's say on the show, is like, da, 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 then the guy is like really laughing, and you would see the subtitle 55555. So it means it's really funny. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay, so what are the most common abbreviations people use online in your language? I don't know what they do in Chinese. Okay, so here in the Philippines, we just use LOL too, because our culture is heavily influenced by the West. So we love Western things and we love Eastern things too. We love Chinese. You know, so it's that. That's why when you see Filipinos chat too, they type ha 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 the old way, capital letters, uppercase, ha ha ha, or LOL. Simple as that. Okay. So I don't know what you maybe, you could show me someday if we have classes together how you do that in Chinese in your language. Who knows, right? Okay, so what to do in our lesson. So this is going to be our lesson format. Okay, so there's the teacher, probably could be me. If you select yours truly, then the students, then the lesson materials would be discussed. Okay, and we have a chat support here, guys. Okay, so we have very good administrators that's going to be there to help us to make the classes run smoothly. Okay, so we have our, like somebody, let's say, if we're having classes right now, for example, right? And you're encountering, as the student is encountering, like, what do you call that? Power outages or issues, technical issues. So the student could, send the person or the contact person or the staff or probably the administrator to inform me that there's an issue. So they would reschedule the class for you. Because here in Sherry IBS, we have this policy of really good handling classes, and we're very considerate with our students. Just say that you have to go probably, or you have something important to do, then we can reschedule. That's one thing. Okay, so that's going to be how we do our lessons. What to do in our lessons? That's how it's going to look like, one-on-one. Okay, see that? So it's really easy for you guys. And for more lessons, please reach our course consultant below. So there's the information. So you could just save it, guys. Okay, and it would be a pleasure, okay, for us to help you learn English the right way, the easy way, and fastest way. Okay, so you have to be with us, okay, so that you can learn. That's that. Okay, so as I've mentioned earlier, we specialize in business English teaching. We do open lessons every week. So you can book any lesson, anytime that you need. So, for example, I'm free for like a week. I could have a lesson every day with this guy, with this teacher. Okay, because I really like him. I really like her. So I'm going to book a class with him for, I don't know, a week or a specific time, probably at 2 p.m. 2 p.m., 2 p.m., 2 p.m. every day. You do that. So that, yeah, we're here to do our job because we're teachers to help you improve your listening and your speaking skills. Okay, so please follow us. Okay, those are our teachers and me too. By the way, I'm teacher Aris. Yeah, I'm teacher Aris. As you know, my students, I really love to teach, and I'm looking forward to see you in our next classes. Okay, so sliders, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone, students, and here's the contact information that you should contact, and always keep safe because nowadays we have, the pandemic. So I don't know if it's any good in China right now, but hopefully it's better for you guys because you have vaccinations already. So just remain safe and live healthy, man. Everybody, live healthy, guys. Be healthy and eat good food, and just live life happy, man. Live a happy life. Always do what you want as long as you're not stepping on other people's toes. That's an idiom, okay? That's an idiomatic expression. Stepping on other people's toes. It means offending people. That is an, okay, 1 minute. That is an idiom. Idiom or expression. So you could say, "Hey man, I did not step on some people's toes, man." It means it's meaning something, but it's not literal. It's not literal. Okay, so I will give you an example of an idiom to use. There's this common idiom that they say. There are. I would like to go to greener pastures. Okay, greener pastures. What does that mean? Means a better place or a better situation. Okay? So for example, you hate your job, right? You hate your job. I feel like, oh man, I wish I could leave this company and I could transfer to a new company and it's better. That's going to be a greener pasture for me, man. And the guy would, what would that be? The guy that you're speaking with. Be like, I don't know, the company and the new company that's just started. Yeah, the new company's better. Yeah, I think, man, that's a greener pasture for me. Okay, so that's an idiomatic expression. Okay, so guys, I will see you next time in our next class. Hope you did have fun with our little video here. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to contact our consultant. Okay, that's the information. It's written there. Okay, contact them and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Oh boy.
Teacher Eric.